In this video, I want to talk to you about one of the biggest reasons why most entrepreneurs fail in their endeavors. And this idea comes from the book How to Win at the Sport of Business by Mark Cuban, who's a billionaire entrepreneur, billionaire American entrepreneur. For those of you who don't know him, he's the owner of Dallas Mavericks NBA team, investor on Shark Tank, owner of Landmark Theaters, Magnolia Pictures, founder of broadcast.com, multi-billionaire. And he says this in his book. He says, don't drown in opportunity. This is the biggest reason why you will possibly fail as an entrepreneur. This is the biggest reason why maybe only 5% of businesses make it. And even out of those, only 1% actually make it to something substantial. So the key is to not drown in opportunity. Chasing opportunities is equal to drowning in them. Most entrepreneurs, and I see this all the time in my coaching, don't fall prey to the shiny object. They're running after shiny object from one marketing funnel to another, from one marketing media to another, from one business to another, hoping that something will work. The key, as Mark Cuban says, is that you need to know your core competencies and make sure you focus on becoming the best, the world class at them. Focus on your core competencies. And when you hit a tough patch, when you hit a rough patch, which you will always, in any business, you will hit a rough patch. The key is to not try to do something new. Instead of what most people do, and what's the natural tendency of a lot of entrepreneurs, is to, instead of battling out in that rough patch and winning that battle, they try to run away. They try to give up and they try to move on. Whether you try to run away or to give up, that's not good for business. Your job is to stick it out. Win the battles you are in before you take on new ones. This is a great quote by Mark Cuban. Win the battles you are in before you take on new ones. Because if you are fighting battles on many different fronts, you cannot win. Right? You don't really have unlimited time and attention and energy and focus. You only have 24 hours. And 24 hours spent on the core business will pay off far, far, far more than splitting that energy or time on multiple opportunities. And sometimes those multiple opportunities might not just be different kinds of businesses, but different strategies inside the business. One day you're chasing Facebook ads, the next day you're chasing YouTube marketing, the next day you're chasing podcasting, the next day you're trying to do some B2B sales, and you're going all over the place. That is very dangerous. Your job is to win the battles you are in before you take on the new ones. And every time you hit a rough patch, because you will always hit a rough patch, your job is to go figure it out to win that. Peter Drucker, one of the greatest management gurus of all time, he said, most businesses die not because they lack opportunities, but because they have too many of them. They're chasing all of these different opportunities, and that's why most businesses die. So what Mark Cuban says is that we must focus on the fundamentals. Just like sports, just like his team, Dallas Mavericks, the key is to get the fundamentals right, practice them, and don't work on the trick play. As the great fighter Bruce Lee said, I'm not scared of the man who has practiced 1,000 moves. I'm scared of a man who has practiced the same move 1,000 times. I'm scared of the man who has practiced the same move 1,000 times. You see, that is crucial for your success as an entrepreneur. You need to get down to fundamentals. You need to win the battles you're in rather than try to wage many different battles all across your business. And especially if you are the main engine in your company, new challenges are deadly because this will dilute your ability to win the wars you're in. You will injure your business. It will dilute your core competency, and over time, you will lose your business. So the key is don't add new things when your core business is struggling. Focus on winning the core business itself. That's how you win in this battle. That's how you win in this business, in the game of business, as Mark Cuban says. By the way, I highly recommend his book, How to Win at the Sport of Business. That's the one that we're drawing this idea from. Now, one of the things, this is probably one of the most common challenges I see when I coach online entrepreneurs, when I help them build their business to 6 figures. They're always dabbling with a lot of opportunities. They're spending time, effort, and energy on a bunch of different opportunities, different marketing channels. One day Facebook ads, then Instagram, then YouTube, then never mastering any of them, but going all over the place. I went through this. I struggled through this in the early phases When I just had my YouTube channel take off, the 2000 Books YouTube channel take off, that's when I started the podcast. And just when the podcast was taking off, then I started working on my SEO. And I really spent so much time, wasting so much time chasing all of these opportunities. And that's what I see again and again with a lot of the people I coach today. They are trying all sorts of marketing campaigns, phone sales, webinars, email campaigns, face-to-face campaigns. They want to try and sell all sorts of products and services, spreading their effort all over the place. But I have to constantly, that's partly what I do when I coach them. I have to constantly focus their energy by forcing them to cut down on all the different things they're trying to do and focus on one opportunity that will give them the biggest ROI. Constantly getting them to focus on one opportunity that will give them the biggest ROI. Dave Packard, the founder of Hewlett Packard and the author of the book, The HP Way, he said, more businesses die from indigestion than starvation. More businesses die from chasing all these different opportunities from all these shiny objects rather than from starvation. It's not because you're lacking in opportunities. It's because you're going crazy with opportunities. Same thing, what Steve Jobs said in his biography, or what Steve Jobs said, and Walter Isaacson quoted him in his biography. He said, people think focus means saying yes to the things you've got to focus on. But that's not what it means at all. It means saying no to the 100 other good ideas that there are. You have to pick carefully. I'm actually as proud of the things we haven't done as the things we have done. Innovation is saying no to 1,000 things. That's Steve Jobs. He's saying you need to say no to a lot of things in order to build something great. You have to say no in order to focus. That is crucial, my friend, in order to build a great business. Don't drown in opportunities. By the way, if you want my top 10 billionaire success lessons from 10 billionaire biographies, literally lessons from some of the greatest entrepreneurs that live today or who have ever lived, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, John D. Rockefeller, even Mark Cuban, you can find those top 10 lessons for free at 2000books.com/billion. 2000books.com/billion. You can find those lessons. So, my friend, your job is to not drown in opportunity. Find the one thing that you're focusing on, find that battle, and go win that battle. That's how you will win this game of business.